Welcome to the 33rd edition of the Sploro Cascade Funding InfoDay series. If you're a researcher, entrepreneur, startup, SME, or part of an innovation ecosystem working on industrial challenges and sustainable manufacturing solutions, you are absolutely in the right place. Before we dive in, a quick introduction, since you'll be seeing a lot of us at these sessions. I'm Ana Minea, Digital Communications and Community Manager at Sploro, and this is Andrea Cruzado, our Communications and Dissemination Manager. She will be moderating your questions throughout the session, so thank you very much for your assistance and for being here, Andrea. We run these info days every month, so we hope to become familiar faces. Our contacts are on screen, so don't hesitate to reach out after the session. Now, for those joining us for the first time, a very quick word about who Sploro is, because we are a bit more than just the people running this webinar. Sploro is an innovation consultancy. We help startups, SMEs, researchers, and organizations access and manage EU funding, from finding the right opportunity to delivering the project successfully. We work across three main areas. Innovation consultancy by helping organizations navigate R&D funding. Second, Cascade funding management by running open calls on behalf of EU-funded consortia. As you can see on the screen, that is our Cascade Funding Hub page, where we upload new open calls each week. And third, technology. And this is actually where things have got quite interesting lately. So let me take a moment to tell you about what we've been building. Anyone who has ever managed an EU project knows that the admin side can be relentless. Timesheets, financial reports, compliance checks, audit preparation, it pulls your team away from the work that actually matters. That's why we built Cronis, a project management software designed especially for EU-funded projects. The first product, Cronis Financial, handles compliance and reporting. So automated timesheets linked to budgets, real-time error checks before submission, and a single audit-ready document repository. So if your team still is running EU project finances through spreadsheets and shared folders, it's worth a look. And we haven't stopped there. We've recently expanded the Cronis ecosystem with two new products, and both are directly relevant to the work you're doing. So Cronis PMO is our new operational layer for EU project delivery, where Cronis Financial handles money, PMO handles the execution, coordinating tasks, deliverables, and partners across your entire consortium in one place. It gives you automatic project setup from your grant agreement, a shared activity board, and a full timeline view across all partners. So if you've ever tried to keep 10 partners aligned over email and spreadsheets, you'll know exactly why we built this. And then there's something especially relevant for everyone in this room today, which is our Cascade Funding Matcher. Cascade Funding Matcher is our AI-powered funding search tool. It analyzes your organization's profile and matches it against all active Cascade funding open calls, as you can see there. It returns a ranked list with compatibility scores, eligibility explanations, and strategic recommendations, all exportable as an Excel report. You create a profile, run the match, and in under 2 minutes, you know which calls are worth your time. You can even paste your website URL and let the AI generate your profile automatically. It's free to try, and there's 3 free searches. So after today's session, if you want to explore what other calls might fit your organization beyond the ones we're presenting, that's where to start. Which brings us nicely to today's agenda. Before we hand over, a quick note on questions. Please use the Q&A box at any time during the presentations. Andrea will be moderating throughout and will address questions live after each speaker. To keep things flowing, we love concise and focused questions, but nothing is off limits. So you can put your questions in the Q&A box. Without further ado, let's get started with today's topic. Today, we are covering two open calls in the manufacturing space, and we have two fantastic speakers who will walk you through each one in detail. The first open call that we'll be presenting is Resist. Resist supports SMEs in the mobility, transport, and automotive ecosystem with two open calls focused on process innovation and product innovation. The deadlines for the calls are the 13th and the 16th of July 2026. To present Resist, I'd like to welcome Patricia Solá. Patricia Solá holds a degree in economics from the University of Vigo and master's degrees in industrial economics and transport economics. She has over 20 years of experience at CEAGA, supporting the internationalization and business development of Galician automotive companies. Since 2018, she has specialized in European projects and currently coordinates the Resist Eurocluster. So, Patricia, I will stop sharing and the floor is yours.
Thank you very much, Anna. Okay, I'm sharing my screen. Can you see it?
Yes, it's perfect.
Okay. Well, first of all, thank you very much to Sploro for giving us the opportunity and this space to promote our open calls. Well, my name is Patricia Solá. I'm from CEAGA, that is the Galician Automotive and Mobility Cluster. And we are here to talk about the Resist Eurocluster and our open calls, product innovation and process innovation open calls. Yes. Okay. First of all, a short background of the project. The Resist Eurocluster is a European project promoted by six partners in 5 countries that are Spain, France, Czech Republic, Poland, and Ukraine. And the main objective of this project is to support European SMEs working in the mobility, transport, and automotive ecosystem so they can advance in their twin transition and also to become more resilient, to better face unforeseen events and the market, the future market trends. For this aim, what we will do is to provide financial support to third parties, or also called Cascade funding, to these SMEs, okay, in our ecosystem. Well, we have 2 different open calls: the product innovation open call and the process innovation open call. As you can see on the screen, the product innovation open call, the main objective is projects that aim to develop new or significantly improve products or services for a better digital and environmental performance, allowing them to reach an increased level of resilience. And in the case of the process innovation open call, the idea is look for projects that aim to redefine the manufacturing or industrial processes, carrying out improvements in current operations and or incorporating new methods or systems which allow them to be more digital, green, and resilient. So in both open calls, we have 4 key pillars. So the projects must cover at least one of these 4 challenges that are going to mention right now. The first one is net zero manufacturing and industrial decarbonization. That is, the objective is to reduce carbon footprint. The second challenge or pillar is related to critical raw materials, the circularity and resource efficiency. And the main objective is to reduce the critical raw materials dependence. The third pillar is called digital mobility and smart industrial systems. And the main idea is to increase efficiency and transparency. And the fourth challenge is resilient mobility value chains. So with projects that aim to strengthen European supply network. Okay. So what can we offer to SMEs interested in our open calls? Well, first of all, funding for their innovation projects. We have 800,000 euros for each of the two open calls. And together with this funding, we provide complementary services, okay? Supporting services that are those that you can see on the right. Technological services, we have a partner in the consortium that is a technological center, is CTAG, the Galician Automotive Technological Center, and they will provide technical services to SMEs. The second service is coaching and mentoring. We have on the website a catalog with experts, so SMEs can hire their services to support the implementation of their projects. We also want to provide support on international markets, so the companies can find opportunities in third countries, that is outside the European Union. And also training courses. We will provide online courses for skilling and reskilling. Who can apply to our open calls? Well, first of all, the companies must be small and medium-sized enterprises. For this condition, you need to consider the European Commission definition, and you also can check this condition through the SME self-assessment tool provided by the European Commission. You have the link on the screen if you want to check for that. Another thing another requirement is to be headquartered in a European Union member state or single market program associated country. You have also there the link to check which countries are those single market program associated countries. And then the third condition is to operate in the mobility, transport, and automotive ecosystem. And to verify this condition, we have two options. One of them is to have the NACE code, one of the NACE codes be classified their activity with these NACE codes that you can see on the screen, that are those related to the MTA ecosystem as established by the European Commission. Or if you don't have the right NACE code, another possibility is to belong to a cluster linked to the MTA ecosystem. So we consider these two possible criteria. Regarding the call conditions, well, both calls are split into two cutoff periods. So at the moment we have launched our first cutoff in this year. The open call was launched in May and will be open until the 13th of July. Okay, but if you are not still prepared or you need more time to prepare your application, you will still have a chance to apply in the year 2027. Okay, SMEs can apply individually or in consortium with another SME. In the case of applying with a collaborative project, the requirement is to have at least two to three SMEs, but they have to come from different NUTS2 regions. And there is a link there that where you can see, for example, in Spain is the autonomous community, is the equivalent is that, but you can check what are the regions in the different countries, okay? We are looking for projects that should be implemented in a period of 9 months, okay? And for the first cutoff, the idea is to start the projects in October 2027 and finish in June 2027. During the implementation of the project, the RESIST partners will provide support. And this means that we will have monthly follow-up meetings, and also we will provide the beneficiaries with supporting services, as I mentioned before. What beneficiaries have to do during this period, to justify or to verify that the implementation is correct, they have to submit 2 reports, okay? One midterm report at the half of the period, and a final report at the end of the project. And for this, we will provide a specific template so they can send us the technical and financial justification. And another thing that we will require to beneficiaries is to participate in a showcase event. So the idea is to give visibility, to give visibility to their projects, and so they can inspire other SMEs to implement innovation projects related to product and process. And the showcase will be held in Vigo at the end of the year 2028. This is the timeline for the first cutoff. As you can see on the screen, the application period for the first cutoff ends on the 13th of July. Then when the application stage finishes, we will have the evaluation process. For this step, we will count with independent evaluation experts, and then they will provide us with a ranking list, and the consortium partners will validate this list. Once that we have the final beneficiaries, we will publish the awarded companies. We made this information public, and the companies will have to sign specific contracts with us. And then in October 2026 will be the implementation. As I mentioned before, 9 months of project execution. Okay, so financial support and funding conditions. Okay, for the year 2026, we have 800,000 euros distributed among the 2 open calls. We will fund around 15 to 20 projects, and around 25 to 30 SMEs will be funded, okay? There you can also see how we will pay the companies. It will be 20%, it will be pre-financing with the signature of the contract. Then we will have the midterm project report with, after review and approval of this report, the companies will receive the 40%. Then with the final project report, they will receive the 30%. And the remaining 10% will be sent with the participation in the showcase event. And in the screen, you can also see the maximum amount we can provide to the companies. In the case of individual projects, the companies could receive up to 20,000 euros. And in the case of consortium projects, the amount that per applicant could be reach the 30,000 euros. Okay, so in the case of 2 SMEs, they will receive up to 60,000 euros. So it will be 30,000 euros per applicant. Okay. Another important thing is that the companies should provide at 10% of co-private financing rate. This was established by the European Commission because they think that it's good that the companies can provide a private co-funding, so they are more committed with their project instead of receiving the 100% of the funding. And another important thing is that the maximum amount that a company can receive under resist is 60,000 euros per SMEs. Okay, I mean, they can apply to different open calls, but the maximum amount they can receive is 60,000 euros. How to apply? Well, the process is very simple. There is an application platform that, well, you have there the QR that will take you to this page. And you only have to fill in the application form and then upload 2 annexes that are the resilience check. Well, the resilience check is a tool that was designed by the RESIST consortium. And the main idea is to help companies to identify their vulnerabilities in different areas. So you can download the annexes in this page, in this platform, and then fill in the information and then upload it again during the application process. And another annex we will ask is the declaration of honor, just to confirm that all the information you provide in your application is truth and that you comply with all the RESIST conditions. The evaluation, regarding the evaluation process, the idea is for each proposal to have at least 3 independent evaluators. And we will consider 4 criteria: level of innovation, environmental and material impact, feasibility and quality of the proposed work plan, and then capacity of the applicant and market relevance of the project. Those are the 4 criteria we will consider. And finally, obligations for beneficiaries. Well, regarding the funding, there is a contract or funding agreement, so you need to comply with all the conditions that are established in this agreement. As I mentioned before, you need to provide some reporting. So it's the way we have to verify that the project has been implemented in the right manner. Okay, so midterm and final reports. And well, the European Commission also requires these beneficiaries to fill in a specific survey to know the feedback, to have their feedback. Then dissemination and visibility. Well, they have to participate in the showcase event, as I mentioned before. And also, if they make any communication activities, they have to acknowledge that they have received the European Union support. Well, another important thing that is common to any open call is that they cannot receive double funding. Okay, they cannot finance the same thing with 2 different grants. Okay. And then long-term report keeping, this is also something very, very common. That is that you must keep the recording of all the documentation, all the invoices, everything related to the project. You must keep this information up to 5 years after the final payment, because in some cases there can be some audits required by the European Commission. It's not always like that, but it can be required. And that's all from my side. Of course, if you have any questions related to our open calls, I would be delighted to answer them. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Patricia. That was a really good presentation. And onto the questions, we do have 3. And Marcos asks, does the project idea need to be entirely new, or can it build upon an existing product already commercialized by the SME?
Well, the idea is that there can be some kind of development in the project. I mean, it can be something existing, but there has to be some kind of improvement. I mean, the main idea is not to have something that is commercialized and then put it on there. I mean, is that there has to be something new or something improved.
Okay. Thank you. The second one is by Domenico, and he asks, can digital services or software-only solutions be funded, or is hardware development preferred?
Well, I think software solutions are also possible to be included in these open calls. Yes, it's not only hardware, of course. So yes, the one important thing is that we cover SMEs that are traditional SMEs. They have their needs in their manufacturing plants or whatever. But it's also the open calls are also addressed to technological companies that maybe they can develop solutions for the companies. And the best idea would be to collaborate. I mean, one company that has a need and they need a solution, a technological solution, and a technological provider that can work in the development of a solution for this traditional company. So this would be the ideal situation. And this will be also recognized in the project with more funding.
Next question, Rafael asks, do you have any idea what the success rate is for the call for proposals?
I don't understand. What do you mean by success rate?
Like the proposals that are being sent, the success rate, like how many send a successful proposal, how many win the proposal. I mean.
Okay. Well, there was a slide in my presentation, and I mentioned that there will be from 15 to 20 projects will be supported in 2026, and around 25 to 30 SMEs will be funded. But well, this depends. This also depends on the kind of projects that are submitted, because as you know, if they are individual, there will be more SMEs supported. But if we have collaboration projects, as collaborative projects will receive more money, so the budget will be more distributed, so we will have less SMEs. So it depends, but it's approximately. Okay, I don't know if, okay.
Thank you. And Sarah asks, what kind of environmental impact indicators would evaluators expect to see?
I don't remember if in the guide for applicants there are any. I think there are some kinds of examples, but I don't know, the reduction in carbon footprint. It can be reduction in CO2 emissions. It depends on the project. If it's related to a process in the plant, if it's related to a product. So because we have a broad variety of projects that can be presented to the open calls. But yes, as examples, I think those two will be the most common.
And we'll add one more question. Pierre asks, is being a member of the MTA ecosystem mean being a member of one of the Resist partners or another one which is not a partner of Resist?
No, it can be the companies that can apply, but doesn't have to be members of the partners in the Resist consortium. I mean, the open calls are addressed to any SMEs in Europe, okay? And in fact, the European Commission asks us or requires that we can have beneficiaries outside the countries of the partners. So this is they are very worried that the beneficiaries are not only the companies that in our clusters or whatever. So the main idea is to have the funding well distributed all around Europe. So you don't have to be a member of the clusters involved in the Resist Euro cluster. You can be a partner, a member of any cluster, MTA cluster all around Europe.
Mhm. Okay, and I think we have time for the last question. Sorry. Vanessa asks, eligible services must be those offered from the consortium, or can SME choose the providers to develop the project?
I mean, the partners will provide some services to the SMEs beneficiaries, but it doesn't mean that maybe the SMEs maybe they need another services not included by the partners, and for these things they can hire the services of other companies. Okay, and for this we will have this catalog that is open to any technological provider, solution provider that wants to join this catalog. Is a good way to have visibility there. So SMEs, if they are looking for a solution or a specialist in validation services, artificial intelligence, I don't know, they can look for experts there. It's open. It's in the website. I can, if you are interested on that, I can share the link to this section in our website. Okay.
Yes, that would be great. Thank you, Patricia.
You're welcome.
Great answers. And we will be moving on to the next project, which is Aid for SME. Aid for SME supports SMEs and startups developing AI and data-driven solutions for industrial resource optimization, relevant for automotive, white goods, battery, energy sectors. The deadline for the call is the 15th of July of 2026. And to walk us through this opportunity, we have Daniel Silva. Daniel is a senior EU project manager at F6S, with extensive experience in project coordination and open call management. He has managed more than 10 FSTP programs, distributing over 10 million euros in funding, and has a background in business development, strategy, and innovation consultancy. So, Daniel, over to you.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Anna. I will share my screen now. Let me know if it is working. Okay. Now I will put in presentation mode, and I hope it's working. Can you see it in presentation mode?
Yes, everything looks perfect.
Okay, wonderful. So thank you so much, Anna, and thank you, Sploro, for inviting us and for having us here in this workshop. It is a pleasure, and I hope I will be able to, in more or less 10-15 minutes, to present you both Aid for SME project and the open call opportunity that we have currently open. My name is Daniel Silva. I'm from F6S, which is a big platform where companies can grow together, and we offer, besides other service, also manage open call and Cascade funding programs. But today I'm here to speak about I4SME, and I4SME is a project that stands for enabling SMEs to develop AI and data solutions through support of a community of practice that is organized and managed by the consortium partners, and low TRL and high TRL playgrounds that are also offered mainly by partners. One thing that I wanted to highlight here is that the project started on the 1st of December 2024 and will run until May 2028, which gives enough time for us to implement the activities related to the open call in the great manner. For the other stuff is more like technical. I will not mention those. And basically, we are a consortium of 16 partners from 11 countries. As you can see, we are spread across Europe. We gather both universities, tech hubs, SME, industry players from different regions. And I think we built a very strong consortium to offer and to reply to the main achievements and the main objectives of these projects. Uh, just to also give you an overview on how this basically the project is built. We have basically four umbrellas, like technology umbrellas, where we try to combine AI and data technologies to boost competitiveness and green transition. So we have the data collection umbrella, where we are asking these SMEs, and the solutions that are being developed is to collect data that will give us important information. The other is insights, where we can have insights from the data that we are collecting. Then we have technologies more related to decision support. And finally, we have the other umbrella that is basically how to automate some process and so on. So basically, all together is to support SMEs and startups in their sustainable digital transition. If you want to connect with us, I have here a QR code. Nevertheless, I will also mention a few. I believe this presentation will be available to everyone afterwards. Nevertheless, you can always find us in the web page and in the LinkedIn and other digital platforms. In terms of objectives, we have mainly three big objectives as a project. So first, develop this community of practice that will support and enable SMEs to develop these and deploy these AI and data solutions. The second one is more focused on the FSTP program. Basically, we want to support these SMEs to develop and deploy, implement and demonstrate AI and data solutions. The goal is to support more than 20. The TRL, let's say like average TRL will be around 6, 7. And these will be aggregated in two open calls. The first one is already closed and active in terms of programs. So where we had 269 applications, and we funded on 11 projects. I believe this will reply some of the questions that we have related to submission rates or acceptance rate, let's say like that. And the project started on March and will run until April 2027. So those are big programs, as you will see after. And the other objective is to increase the adoption of combined AI and data technology. As I said, we have currently open call active in terms of submissions. So we are collecting these proposals until mid July. And the goal is to start on the 1st of November. But in any case, I will talk in more detail next about this opportunity. And for the playgrounds, I give you here an overview as well. As you can see, we split our project in two types of playgrounds: the low TRL playgrounds, where you can test in a more controlled environment your solution and develop. And then we have the high TRL playgrounds, where you can test and develop your solution in the real environment, in the manufacturer environment and others. So where you will have the opportunity to develop and test your solution. And other partners are also contributing here with different knowledge and backgrounds. So everyone is basically very, very keen in this help to the SMEs. Now let's dive into the open call in terms of more information. I just want to start with like the main characteristics of this call, just for you to understand what we are trying to achieve and what is the main characteristics related to the call. So as I said, this call is currently active in terms of submissions, and we will close the call by 15 of July at 5 Brussels time. We have indicative budgets of only for this call around 2.35 million euros. The goal is to support up to 12 projects. which gives a maximum contribution per project around 200K. This maximum contribution will represent 70% of the project total cost. So this is a funding rate of 70%, where we ask the third parties that will be selected to put the rest of 30% as their own uh, assets, let's say like that, and money. And the duration of the program is 14 months, planned to start in November 2026 up to December 2027. And the sub-grant form that we are using is a lump sum. If you are not aware what this lump sum means, you have here, I leave here a few relevant links and that you can click and dive into more specific on these terms and what means a lump sum. Nevertheless, I also leave here some other relevant links as the call page and also how to apply. This is the application is for the application form, this link, and then the contact as help desk that we organized to help the third parties that are planning to submit their proposals within open call 2. Who can apply and how? So I just want also to inform you that we organized it before this session. We organized already 2 webinars. So we have a very informative webinar, very detailed, where you can find all these things that I mentioned, but in more detail. And also yesterday we had the Q&A webinar where we answered potential applicants' questions. So I will invite you all to watch these 2 webinars, since they contain a lot of information that can be valid for you. Nevertheless, I will also specific a little bit about who can apply and how. So we are targeting SMEs and startups working on related technology to what the project itself is trying to build. And in terms of consortium requirements, you can apply as a single entity or a consortium of up to 2 entities led by an SME and startup. What this means? It means that you also can bring another user case with you, which also be part of your consortium, although that partner cannot request funding. So we are targeting only the SMEs, and when I say the other partners can be industries, can be public research centers, and so on. So there are a very specific indication on the institution that can be like a second partner without requesting funding. You can look at that and you can find those, but nevertheless, this project must be led by SMEs. Eligible countries goes European Union member states with a valid VAT. Horizon Europe associated countries are also valid, but we are using for rules of participation the version 3.1, which is here. You can click and understand who are the entities or the countries that were eligible at the time of this version. And yeah, it's important because was the version that was active at the moment that the grant agreement was signed. The for SME grant agreement was signed, and in terms of multiple submissions, a maximum of 1 application per eligible applicant and consortium entities will be accepted. Nevertheless, if you are targeting different challenge, and I will go to that next, we only consider 1 application and will be always the last application that you submit. So that will be a very important requirement. In terms of products, so we are target 10 challenge. As you can see here, as I said, you will find, so if I go one by one, will take a lot of time. What I will recommend you is to watch our webinars as well, and also find the specific document that we create only for challenge, which is the Annex 1.1 challenge description, where you can find each challenge, what are the user case that we are targeting, what are the expected outcomes, which KPIs we want to achieve. So you will find detailed information on each specific challenge. As you can see, there are a code, and these codes are linked to the umbrellas that I mentioned before. So you see here the 4 is related to automation, so those are related to automation umbrella and so on and so on. So we will find that, and the goal is to distribute funded proposals within this 10 challenge, and 2 other will be also included in one of the, or we will have more than one in each challenge. It will depend on different criteria. We just want to understand that we are balanced distribution, the distribution of application among the challenge, and other criteria, other requirements we will assess it after we have the final shortlisted applications. In terms of funding conditions, one thing that I already mentioned, but I need to, reinforce this message, which is related to the funding costs and the funding conditions. So we are funding 70% of your total project costs. You may request a maximum contribution of up to 200K, which means that the remainder must be supported by the entity or the selected third parties, and you have to provide at the proposal stage a justification of the planned costs and resources of your project, and the types of costs that we are targeting is more or less personal costs, purchase costs, which combines travel, equipment, and other direct costs, and also indirect costs over the 25% personal and purchase cost. One thing that is completely prohibited in this call is subcontracting is not allowed. So you have to demonstrate that you have the capacity and the infrastructures, the team, and so on to build your solution and to develop your innovative solution. So this is most important. In terms of evaluation phase, I will be quick here, but we have 4 phases here. We will start, first of all, after the submission phase is closed, we will start with the admissibility and eligibility check, just to understand if you are within the criteria, that the eligibility criteria that we defined. Then we will perform an in-out challenge scope check. If you are within the scope, you will advance to the expert evaluation, and this will be done by external evaluators. So we are assigning 2 external evaluators per proposal, and those are external to the consortium. So we are hiring these experts to assist us in this process. And then if you are in the short list, the top 3 proposals per challenge, you will be invited for an online interview with the challenge owners and the playground owners when applicable. One thing that I wanted to also highlight is that you will be informed in each stage of the results. First of all, if only the negative one. So if you don't pass to the second phase, you'll be informed. If you are advancing, you will not receive any kind of notification from us until the expert evaluation, where we will inform the proposal that didn't advance to the online interview, and we will invite the others. So expect communication through all this stage. In terms of the program, so the program will be split in 4 stages, where you will find where we'll start with the first stage, which is planning, where you organize meetings with the challenge owners and the playground owners when applicable, and fine-tune the project just to understand the technical requirements, specifications, how you can integrate the solution, and how you will develop your solution, take into consideration this user case. Then you advance to the next one that is related to development. Finally, after this development phase, we need to test and validate your solution. And finally, we end with the solution assessment and business plan. So this comprises a 14-month duration period. So a lot of things are expected from you, and that's why also we have such a big maximum contribution that we are giving to the SMEs. In terms of timeline, so as I said, we will close the call in mid-July. Then we will start the remote evaluation stage. Online interviews are planned for the first week of September. Of course, those are indicative. It will depend a lot on the number of applications that we receive, but we are doing our best in order to stick with this timeline. And the contracting stage, that means that results will be announced around mid-September, and we start the contracting stage in order to initiate the program number 2 in the 1st of November. And how to apply, I will be very quick here. So this is a very simple slide. First of all, I will strongly advise you to get informed, read careful our guideline for applicants, the challenge description, use the right proposal templates, watch the webinars, read the frequent asked questions section. So we have a lot of information, I believe, already for you to build a strong application. Then you have to be registered on and have an account on F6S, and user account, in order for you to be able to apply to this call. And you have to submit your application through the F6S platform. This is mandatory. Any other channel will not be considered or allowed. And I believe that's all. You will find here the help desk email address. So if you have any question, you can address your question directly to the help desk. But I will advise you to first try to read the other documents, because some of the questions that we are receiving they are clear in the way that we provide this information before. So you have the frequent asked questions section, you have the webinars, as I was saying, we have a very detailed and clear guideline for applicants. So most of the information is there. But in any case, you can always reach out to us if you have different questions. Just to also alert you that on the final days, help desk, we will try to reply to all the emails, but we cannot guarantee in terms of, it will depend on the volume of questions that we are receiving. So if you have any question, please address your questions right now during this period, because close to the call will be very difficult to reply to all your questions. And that's it. I don't know if there are specific questions for me, but please let me know. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That was a really informative presentation. And before I get there, are a couple of questions. But first, because of what you said, I just want to remind people that after the webinar, we will be sharing all the presentations with the attendees. So all of the links that you've added will be available in the email that we sent. So first question. Carlo asks, do applicants need to address one specific industrial challenge, or can they purpose a more generic AI solution with multiple use cases?
Okay, so my reply here, yes, you should try to address one of the description challenge. These are very detailed, what we are trying to build or what we are trying to expect from the SMEs. So a generic one addressing multiple use case will be like, try to avoid that condition, or one application per one application that you can submit per challenge, let's say like that. You are trying to find a way where you can try to address several challenges in one application, and I would say that this is not what we expect. We expect that applications address the challenge description. You can bring your user case, as I said, but it needs to the at least the expected outcome and the KPIs need to be comparable to what we expect and what we are trying to what we define it as a challenge. So I would say that, yeah, you should target one specific challenge in order to increase your chance to be selected, of course.
Next, Justina asks, is there a minimum TRL requirement at application stage for challenges C3.2 and C3.3?
So I don't have it on top of my mind, but I know that there are specific mentions on TRL. So it depends on the challenge. Each challenge has a different kind of description, different kind of TRL requirements. So I will suggest you to read it. And if there is any information on TRL level at the submission stage, in order to increase your chance to be selected, I would say that it is important that you are more or less aligned with that TRL, with that technology maturity. Yes.
Next, Christina asks, can a company apply if it already has an AI-based product on the market, or is the call mainly targeting early stage solutions?
So it is expected that the solutions will move forward in the TR level, So if you are already in the market, it means that you don't have anything else to advance. So I would say that in order to increase your chance to be selected, it is important that your solution is being, being advancing in this TRL scale.
And the last question by Daniela, she asks, can applicants use third-party AI services or APIs, or is preference given to solutions developed entirely in-house?
That's a great question, and I believe it depends on how you frame it. So it depends on how you are using this third-party AI service. With this information, it's very difficult to give you a detailed answer, to be honest. So what I would say is to mention that subcontracting is not allowed. So this is one thing, and you have to demonstrate that you have in-house capacity to build your solution. And the way you use other service, it will depend a lot on your proposal. So it's kind of difficult to reply yes or no here. So I will try to avoid being very clear and try to tell you that, okay, it's important that you know that subcontracting is not allowed. And the second condition is that you have the capacity to develop your solution in-house, mainly in-house.
Thank you very much, Daniel. That was great. And that was the last question. So thank you so much to both Patricia and Daniel.
Thank you.
We've finished. And thank you all for joining this 33rd edition of the Sploro Cascade Funding InfoDay, dedicated to manufacturing. We hope today's session has provided clear insights into how these opportunities can support your work and help scale innovative, sustainable solutions across all Europe. And before you go, please subscribe to our newsletters so you can stay on top of all the open calls that we share every single day, and follow Sploro on LinkedIn for funding news, new tools, or upcoming info days. And as I said before, if you want to explore more calls right now, try the Cascade Funding Matcher for free. And thank you for joining us. And we look forward to seeing you at the next session. Take care, everybody.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much.
Bye-bye.